All right, in this video we're going to be manual muscle testing the middle scalene. So I'm going to go through the actions with my partner here just to make sure that he is aware. So the middle scalene does two actions in the neck. The first one is slight flexion, so lifting the head up off the table, and its primary action is again lateral flexion. So if you've already watched the anterior scalene video, I'm just going to repeat myself here though. You have to be very careful to not have capital lateral flexion and more cervical lateral flexion. So as they bring their ear towards their shoulder, a lot of people will cheat and try to do this action, which is not happening from the scalenes. So we want that smooth neck motion over to the side. Okay, so I'm going to take my hands off and you're going to do that action for me. So head slightly off the table and neck over the side. Excellent. For the brake component of it, just like in the anterior scalene, we're going to focus just on lateral flexion. So he's going to have his head up off the table and slightly into our lateral flexion. I'm going to place my hand behind his ear towards his mastoid and the temporal bone. So I'm resisting more the neck versus the head, and I'm going to try to bring him to neutral. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. We're going to go back to our start position. I'm going to keep my hand in the same placement. He's going to lift his head up slightly against gravity and full lateral flexion against my resistance hand. Good. Try to make sure there's no rotation in that, so it should just be again a flexion and a lateral flexion over to the side. Okay. So for the length of this, because we had to go into slight flexion, we're going to drop him into slight extension. And because of the table, again, I'm going to ask him to slide back towards me. I'm going to be holding that head close to that same location at the base of the skull here, mastoid and temporal bone. I'm going to drop him slightly into extension for the C-spine, and I'm going to laterally flex his neck all the way over to the side. Good. And there's our length position for the middle scalene. I'll have to go back to that. Okay, and that's going to conclude our manual muscle test and length for middle scalene.